Hey everyone, and welcome to episode number 11 of the Cricket Corner. This has been a long-awaited podcast. It's been a while since we've done the last one, and the World Cup is in full flow, Aaron.
Yeah, crucial stage.
Crucial stage now, where you've seen everyone play at least 5 times, which is just over halfway through the tournament. Some of the teams are playing their 6th match. So yeah, definitely a fantastic time to review what everyone's been up to and maybe review what we thought would be the top 4. I think we're both wrong on who the top 4 are.
We were quite close. Not that wrong. Apart from England.
Well, we'll come to that actually. And if you're here to listen to England and what we make of England, then just skip right to the end, because we're going to do this in the order of ranking they're currently in. We're going to review every single team and what we make of them so far in the current group stage and coming towards the end of the group stages, and take it from there, really.
Yeah.
You're wearing an Indian top, so maybe it's quite fitting that we start with India, who are at the top of the tree.
Yeah, nothing to say, to be honest. They look like the best team so far. Very balanced. The batsmen are in form. The bowlers are in form. The fielding look good. They really look like the best team so far.
Wow. That's it. That's all we're going to cover in India. No, there's a little bit more. We want to dive a little bit deeper into this, because I think everyone expected them to win a few games, but I think they came out of the blocks by beating Australia really comfortably. And since then, they've just gotten better and better and better with every game. Was there a standout game for you for India, like a game that you thought, wow, this is the team that's going to win the World Cup?
As you said, for me, the crucial match was the Australia one.
The first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
Chasing a small total, but they were 24-3.
Yeah.
And then a missed opportunity of Kohli. And that was the crucial match for India, especially against a team like Australia, who won the World Cup like 5 times.
Yeah.
To get that first win from a difficult situation, that was the ideal start for India. And then after that, they just kept, improving and playing better and better.
Yeah. So India have played Australia. Who else have India played?
Afghanistan,
Pakistan.
England, New Zealand, and
Bangladesh.
Bangladesh, correct.
There you go.
Yeah.
So India at the top of the tree with 6 games, having won all of them with 12 points. For me, I think I agree. The team, the layout, the structure, everything seems fantastic. I think they just seem like a settled side. They know what they're doing. Rohit Sharma is playing some of the most fantastic cricket I've seen him play. He's just literally saying, you know what, I don't care who you are. I'm going to play my way, and I'm going to just... He's for me the player of the tournament so far. I think he's like, people are definitely like noticing how great he is for India now after this tournament. If they didn't after 2019, where he scored 1 million centuries, he's really coming to fruition. Like, on top of that, he's the captain of the India team. He's leading them from the front in every capacity, except for when he forgets to decide what he's doing after he wins a toss. So like literally the 11, there are some unfortunate injuries that have happened in the Indian camp. Hardik Pandya is injured. He's done his ligament. They expect him to be back for the semi-finals. And Surya Kumar Yadav has come in and played for him. Do you think that will continue?
Yeah, that's a big loss because that breaks the balance of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Pandya is with the bat. With the ball.
It's an all-rounder, right?
Exactly.
He's like a full all-rounder.
And it gives us the balance to play with 6 bowlers.
Yeah.
So that was a big miss. I hope he comes back.
For the semi-final?
I would like him to play at least one match before. So, gets into the rhythm.
Well, the last match is against Netherlands, so maybe that's an easy one to just come in. You know what? Don't bowl, just bat.
Yeah, just kind of a fitness test. He's a big miss. I hope he's back. other than that, everything looks perfect. And you talked about the batting. I was really, really impressed with the bowling, especially the fast bowlers. Bumrah is on another level.
Shami is the unsung hero of Indian cricket. He comes in and just takes wickets.
Did you see his stats? He got 40 wickets in 13 World Cup innings.
Wow.
That's something.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is something. Obviously, the last World Cup was in England, so that helps him as well. But like, he's come back in the team, and I think I would pick him over Siraj in the current form. I know we said Siraj is a fantastic. You can't just look at what's happening right now, but on current form, like if India was to play the final tomorrow, and it said a spinning deck, which means that Ashwin's going to play, I would just drop Siraj and play Shami.
I think that's going to be when Hardik is back.
Yeah.
Shami is going to play all matches now.
So Siraj is out.
Yeah, Siraj will be out. Unfortunately, yeah.
There's been one disappointment for me in the Indian team.
Shreyas Iyer?
Well, it's two. Is Shreyas Iyer just what is he doing?
Yeah, the one thing about Shreyas Iyer, he scored some runs against Pakistan. He has this issue with the bouncer, and everyone knows it. And the thing is, he's still going for it. He takes the attacking option.
Yeah.
And that's a big problem for him. And as a number 4, we need someone who can, stay a bit longer, play some longer innings. Maybe they should just swap Rahul with him, so he can come.
At that point, if that happens, they're going to drop him and put in Suryakumar Yadav.
Yeah, that's another option. Yeah.
So okay, that's the disappointment that I wasn't expecting you to talk about. That wasn't the one I was talking about. That is 100%. Shreyas Iyer has been underwhelming in this World Cup, but I think India know what they're doing and they're sticking with him. The other disappointment for me has been Shubman Gill.
Shubman, right? He was
dating
sick.
Sachin's daughter.
He was.
That's all I see on Instagram now. It's just like I scroll, and instead of seeing cricket content, I'm seeing gossip content, and I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah, don't believe everything you see on Instagram. But the issue with Shubman, he was off sick. So it's difficult to come back. I just saw one of his interviews yesterday where he was saying he lost about 6 kilos.
Yeah.
And
he's already pretty slim as it is.
Yeah, so
he's very bony anyway. So,
to be honest with you, when I look at him, I don't think he's out of form. He played some good innings.
He scored a 50, right? Close.
Yeah, he's got a few runs.
Yeah.
So
it's just he's not accelerated, right? Like you expect him to do that job, not Rohit Sharma to do the job. So
yeah, so I feel a big 100 is just around the corner for him.
Against Netherlands.
Because we still have potentially 5 matches left with the final, or at least 4 matches, the semi-final.
Yeah.
So
maybe he's saving it for the final in
Gujarat,
the stadium he knows the most,
So I think he's still looking good, and I feel he will score some big runs in the coming matches.
Shall we talk about the selfish players in the Indian cricket team?
Who is it? I saw a lot of discussion around that as well.
So, what do you think about this selfish player? His name's Virat Kohli. Apparently, people think he's very selfish.
Those people thinking like that, they know nothing about cricket. And unfortunately, today with social media, everyone has an opinion.
Including us.
Yeah.
Including us.
So, I think it's not even worth talking about this. We all know
how selfless he is.
Yeah, exactly,
and although you say that, I think I agree he's selfless in the first 100 that he got. But in that second innings where he got out for 96.
Yeah, he was going for his 100, but he brought the team.
I mean, we won because of him, yes, 100%. But
and the thing as well, even with the Bangladesh one and the New Zealand one,
yeah,
he was still scoring those runs quickly.
Oh no, no one is questioning his speed or, when he's batting second, he's the best player in the world by a mile. The last game, he obviously got out for no runs, pretty much. And everyone struggled in the game against England. So you could probably say, let's give him a free pass. But yeah, I think he's... I wanted to cover it because everyone else is talking about how selfish he is. And I was like, what do you think? Is he actually selfish? I was like, no, not really.
No, not really.
And Gautam Gambhir, what a fantastic commentator he is. He's like the great pundit of like all of the ex-Indian players. The amount of stuff he says. He's like, when you go on like these social media platforms and you see people who just rub you up the wrong way and they just get you going just for the views. We should have Gautam Gambhir on the show because he will say some crazy shit and you're like, wow, that's true.
The thing with Gambhir, great player, everyone knows that. But the thing with him, one day he says something, the next day he says something completely opposite. So you don't know what to believe. One day you will say Yuvraj is the greatest player India has ever produced.
Yeah.
The next day you will say Rohit Sharma. The
next day he'll say that one player can't win you the World Cup.
Yeah.
When Yuvraj Singh, I think, single-handedly, man of the tournament in 2011, won India the World Cup alongside a few great innings.
But it's good for entertainment.
It is. He's fantastic entertainment, and I think, I think that's probably the biggest Indian player people are talking about that isn't playing cricket in India. You go on Instagram and you look at the reels and most people are talking about him and his commentary on the 2019 World Cup selection and when India went wrong by picking someone else over Ambati Rayudu.
Yeah.
And so, I think he definitely has the nous for it. Obviously, he's a great coach as well. And, is coaching in the IPL circuit.
He knows his cricket.
Absolutely.
Of course, yeah.
So...
Just coming back to India, right? Like just to finish on India, just one quick thing. We always knew that India was going to qualify for the semi-finals. In all World Cups, they always dominated the group stage.
Yeah.
The big challenges, the semi-final and then or the final.
There is a fantastic meme going around on the internet where we'll come to all of these teams, but the top 3 teams are perennial chokers in World Cup cricket, and number 4 is a 5-time World Cup winning team, Australia, looking up and saying, I think I'm going to win the World Cup.
Yeah, they're coming back in
So, yes, you're right. I think India were always going to make the semi-finals. The question will be, what do we do in the semi-finals? The one good thing is they've had to win a tough match against England. I think that... For me, that is the match that is made India. Like, that makes me feel like, yes, we'll make it to the final at the minimum.
Yeah, it was a different challenge. Small score, where do we have to defend?
Yeah.
So...
And batch it first.
Yeah, so that's good that the matches they played, they experienced, different scenarios.
Yeah.
Sometimes it was the spinners, sometimes it was fast bowlers, sometimes it was the batsman.
Yeah.
So, so far...
I just hope that when you get to the semi-finals and when Rohit and Kohli get out for 0, that, Gill and Iyer make it up and actually stay.
Yeah.
That's the only thing we haven't seen, right? Like Rohit's made all the runs, Kohli's made all the runs, KL Rahul's made all the runs. They are the senior players of this team. They may not be around for the next World Cup anyway. So it's the others who have to...
Yeah, it's a good point, yeah.
So let's hope that happens. But apart from that, we're happy with India. Do you want to change your top now?
No, not for now. I'll wait.
Who's number 2? Shall we move to the second team? I think we have a lot to talk about. There are 10 teams, and I want to cover all of them. Maybe we'll give 2 minutes to Netherlands.
Yeah.
But who's second in the list?
South Africa.
And what do you make of them? I'm very surprised by South Africa.
I'm not surprised. Because
you mentioned them.
Yeah.
You mentioned them in your list, right? So
I'm really not surprised with South Africa because of the cricket they've been playing the last year or so, especially white ball cricket. They have some very good players, a good balanced side.
Yeah.
And I just like the way they play. It looks like they play very freely. There's no
fearless cricket.
Yeah, fearless cricket. They don't have any kind of baggage because we always associated South Africa.
The real chokers.
The real chokers.
They are the real, the ones who get there and then don't.
Yeah, but this team, right? They don't have I don't think they have any players who played back in those games.
No.
So it's quite a young team, a new team,
Yeah.
and it's explosive batting, explosive bowling, and fielding.
Explosive wicket keeping.
Yeah, and with the fielding, they've
Yeah.
always been a top side.
Fantastic
Yeah,
side.
so
Yeah. Who's been the standout South African player for you?
there've been a few. Some of them we knew already, like De Kock
Yeah.
scoring 300s.
Last World Cup.
Yeah, unfortunately,
last tournament for him, so-
he's a legend of the game for me in
Yeah.
world ball cricket so far. Klaasen, Makram,
Yeah.
we all knew, like,
Okay, so yes, you're right. We all know them,
Yeah.
but I associate them with like coming in batting sixth in an IPL team that isn't the best team. No offense. Obviously, Gujarat Titans have Miller, number 6. So I know Miller, right? I know Markham, and like all of these players, they play IPL cricket or all the franchise cricket around the world. But I don't see them as like, wow, these are game-changing cricketers for these teams. But putting them together in a South African team, fantastic.
Yeah.
It's working well for them. And the coaching setup have decided to, like, obviously no one from the past is, playing in this particular team. I think a lot of credit has to go to Graham Smith,
Yeah.
still at the top of the tree, and like he was a fantastic player, captain for South Africa, and making the right calls across all levels. And I think not many people give credit where it's due, but wow, he's done a fantastic job with the South African team and the layout and the setup and the selection, etc., etc., etc. So they've ended up with being the biggest surprise for me in the tournament. I expected them to be fourth, but I didn't expect them to win against these teams by scoring 400 runs every single match. That's crazy.
Yeah, but you summed it up. All of these guys, they play IPL cricket.
Yeah.
And they are kind of one of the main players for the franchises as well. So they used to play on these wickets now.
Yeah.
And for them, it feels like maybe a home. They used to this kind of conditions, and they all know their role. They're very comfortable with their role, and as you said, they just play fearless cricket. And one guy who really surprised me is Marco Jansen. He's been the standout player for me. A very young guy.
Because of his height. That's it. Nothing else.
Very young guy, bowls quick, left arm. Takes some good wickets in the power play. He changed a couple of games with the bat as well.
Yeah.
He's also one of the IPL player.
Yeah.
So he was the standout for me, apart from the other players who were a bit more established. In the team.
I think they're definitely one of the teams that has played well as a team. Like everyone has contributed. It's not like one player that's leading like everything. Like in India, you can name Rohit and Kohli.
Yeah, they are like.
Whereas it's like everyone, like,
yeah.
Babuma's played well one game, De Kock has played one game, Markham's played one game. They've all like contributed here or there. Miller, not so much so far, I don't think, but he'll probably come true at some point. So, I'm very, very surprised, but also, like you said, not surprised at the same time, because they've all played in India for so long that they just feel like it's home.
Yeah.
But, I think for me, the standout of the South African team is a photo on the internet, and it's Babuma, the captain of South Africa, talking to your man. You just spoke about him, your standout player.
Oh, Jansen. The
and
height difference,
the height difference is like incredible. I urge everyone to go on the internet and find Jansen and Babuma. And I think Babuma comes to his waist.
Talking about Babuma, just one thing. He gets a lot of criticism because of his batting and etc. But he's a very, very good captain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I watched some of the matches. The way he moves the bowlers and he understands the situation quite well.
Yeah.
I feel. And they all respect him as a captain as well.
They do.
So, and he scores when no one scores. He's that kind of a player.
Yeah,
So for now, he doesn't need to score much, but they are in a good rhythm.
So that's South Africa. Anything else, South Africa? What was the standout game for you for South Africa?
The one against Pakistan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a game! I think that's probably one of the games of the World Cup so far,
for me,
right?
it's the game of the World Cup so far. Yeah.
And neither team wanted to win. They're both like, nah, you win. Like, no. Why do you score the runs?
It's not only the 2 points, it's just because of South Africa's history choking the game, because they were winning it like so easily.
Easy.
And then,
And Pakistan had the pressure on them as well, right?
Yeah.
So they did well to recover that back as well. And
so that's why I'm telling you that this is a different side, different South African side.
yeah. So we talk about New Zealand.
Number
Number
3 started the World Cup really well.
They beat England comfortably.
Yeah, and then they played against some opposition.
Warm-up games.
Yeah, because they are a good side, and they won their first 4 games quite easily.
That's 8 points.
Yeah, but for them, unfortunately, all the difficult games are now. So they played against India, they lost. They played against Australia, they lost the last 2 matches.
Mm-hmm.
And
They've got Pakistan.
tomorrow they're playing South Africa.
South Africa.
Then Pakistan. And then Bangladesh. So they got some
serious work to do.
Yeah, it's difficult match to come.
I just want to cover a couple of things. First of all, Kane Williamson's injury, right? I think got injured again during the World Cup. Very unfortunate for New Zealand, but a blessing in disguise, because Ravindra, whose name I keep on butchering, is probably the player of the tournament for a newcomer. Like they have like the young player of the year award or something, or the young player of the World Cup award. Rachin wins this hands down. Like, he looks like he's played 100 ODI games. He comes in that team and he scores the runs, and he scored pretty much every time New Zealand had wanted him to score. What a player.
Yeah, they're really impressed.
Where have they been hiding him?
He's been in the squad, but more as a bowling all-rounder. So he will bowl some overs and bat like number 7, number 8. But yeah, really impressed with him. We talked about him in the first match against England.
What did you call him?
Where is Rachindra. Called him Rachindra. But New Zealand, I'm really impressed with this team, because just, in all World Cups, they are always, around the semi-final spot.
They are.
Yeah, and especially this time, without Southee, without Kane Williamson, they are still, fighting and winning a lot of matches. Can you imagine, like, India
without Bumrah?
And Kohli, for example.
India not playing.
Yeah. So that's the thing which is very impressive about New Zealand, but I feel for them, the next 2 games are going to decide their semi-final spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
So the first 2 teams, India and South Africa, I think are through, right?
I feel it's a bit easier for them.
I think even if they lose the rest of their matches, they'll probably make it. One is on 12 points, one is on 10 points, right? So I think easily could say, high percentage they're going to make through to the semi-finals. But New Zealand, you don't think they're like in that high percentage?
I think to qualify, to be sure, I think you need at least 6 wins. So I will say 1 more win for South Africa, to be sure.
Yeah.
And India already have 6 wins, so that's fine. For New Zealand, they have 4 wins now. So
let's say they win against Bangladesh. That's 5 wins.
That's 5 wins. Then they will be fighting for the 4th
But
place.
they're playing South Africa next. So 2 and 3 are playing. That's going to be a good game tomorrow.
And Pakistan.
And then they've got Pakistan, which is...
That's going to be, for me, a kind of a virtual quarterfinal. I feel Pakistan and New Zealand could fight for that 4th spot.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting, because they started out high flying. But it's like you said, it's because of the way the games have been panned out for them. Their fixtures, they've played a lot of the easier teams.
Yeah.
Like England and
Afghanistan.
Like second-rate teams, both of those.
Netherlands.
Netherlands. He's not laughing at my joke, but it's fine. England and Afghanistan are not second-rate teams, but yeah, they've played a lot of the teams that started out badly, and they captured that. They won that, won those games quite comfortably. Against India,
Yeah, against India,
they lost
They
for the
lost.
first time in 20 or some odd years.
they missed an opportunity against India. It was a tight game.
Yeah,
All they needed is just to break the Kohli and the Jadeja partnership,
yeah,
because we had like a long tail, and
we do.
I felt they missed an opportunity against India.
Because that's the game that Hardik Pandya got injured in, is that right?
No, he got injured the game before
Okay.
against Bangladesh.
Right.
So yeah,
So long tail could have exploited it. But maybe that's the inexperience in the captaincy coming into play there, right? Because they're probably one of the greatest captains.
he's
Not
a good
there.
captain, Latham, but yeah, I think just missed.
Williamson's just not at the same level.
Yeah.
Not
No,
at the same level as
not
Williamson.
Williamson,
So
yeah, that's for sure.
so that probably paid a little bit of dividend there. You see them making it to the end of the this qualifying. Do you think they'll make it to the semi-finals?
I feel they'll make to the semi-finals just the way they've been playing. Even against Australia, almost chasing like 380. It's a good all-round team again. Very
Yeah.
similar to South Africa. They got some good batsmen, good spinners, and they bat deep. So I feel the way they are playing, you can feel that they will be qualifying for the
Okay.
semis. Yeah.
Right, that's New Zealand. I think nothing surprising from them. Unfortunately, they've had some injuries, and they've got a few tough games coming up. But you expect them to make it. What about Australia? Shall we talk about Australia? Because
You say they won't make it to the semis.
did I say they won't make it to the semis? I think it was because I knew what was happening in the first 5 games. I only predicted until the first 5 games. I'm sorry. All of the memes around them being at the same level as Afghanistan and Netherlands in the first few games, being bottom of the table, and they've been revived. What's happened?
It's Australia and it's World Cup. You always.
They've taken 4 or 5 games to wake up.
And now they got their full squad as well. Travis Head is back, and they just look a different team now. And
Surely it's not just one player though. Like, shall we talk about how bad they were in the first few games?
they looked very un-Australian the first 2 games. They were not aggressive with the bat. The bowling was all over the place. Especially Zampa, who is like, for me,
One of the
best
ODI.
spinner in
Yeah.
the world.
Yeah.
He was off color, but now that's what they needed. Just a few losses.
Kick up the Australian.
Yeah.
By the way, for Australia, this is.
But don't forget, they lost against 2 good teams as well. They lost against India and South Africa, who are the top 2 teams as so far. So, yeah, maybe people were expecting too much, maybe
just out the blocks running. I have to say I've really enjoyed them in the last few games though. Like David Warner, one of my favorite players of all time. I love him. People hate him, but he's a fantastic player. Great character on him. And he's just come out, scored a 90, scored 100 plus, 150 plus. Maxwell's come out and is playing all of the ridiculous shots after getting out for 0 for one in the game, in one of the
he's
other
playing
games.
like baseball, hockey, cricket,
Badminton,
everything.
squash, you
Yeah.
name it. He's playing
all
every
the
single,
shots, yeah.
all of the racket sport shots that you can imagine. And
The only problem for Australia is the role of Marnus and Smith. For me, they are very similar players, and
Yeah.
you can't have them both in the team.
well, you know who they need to drop.
Yeah, it's Marnus, obviously, and I think he will. When Stoinis come back,
Yeah,
I think they will drop Marnus, and it will make the team even
Stronger.
Yeah,
yeah. I think it's difficult. I don't know. Can you drop Smith?
no, they won't drop Smith.
No chance
No chance.
over Labuschagne.
No, never.
Wow, Labuschagn's had good form recently.
Yeah, he struggled a bit in the World Cup, and he's very similar to Smith. Like,
Yeah.
they both strike at what maximum 90 or 100.
That's quite high.
Strike rate.
70, yeah,
Strike
yeah,
rate.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, and so on some of the pitches, you need someone who can just be a bit more aggressive in the middle.
Yeah, yeah.
Because when both of them are playing, I feel the opposition can put pressure on them.
Well, that's what India did, right?
Yeah.
I think looking at the balances of all the teams, India have the best balance with probably the two best spinners in the World Cup. And they just come in the middle and they just choke you. And they don't, unless you are aggressive or you are able to work the ball, teams are finding it difficult. And that's what Australia found. They found it quite difficult to work the ball in the first match. And one of the reasons, like you said, is because they both play a similar way, right? So it's difficult to kind of...
They are very similar to India in terms of batting.
Yeah.
They are very top heavy. So Marsh, they're very dependent on Marsh, Warner and Head now.
Yeah.
So like India, we are also very dependent on Sharma and Kohli.
Yeah.
So if a team takes quick wickets against them, then the middle order will struggle. So
because they have to rebuild, right? Yeah. So
very
same stories.
to India, but they look good now because they're kind of peaking at the right time, and it's a World Cup.
Oh
and they're
my
always
God,
up.
I'm worried now. You're gonna. This means India are gonna now fail in the next few games.
I just hope India doesn't play Australia in semis.
Really?
Yeah,
so what is the order? Like this is so Australia are number 4 in the rankings at the moment in the table.
But I feel they'll go up. I feel.
So who plays number 1? Team 1 plays
4,
and number 2 plays
3. Yeah.
So you want India to play Pakistan?
Pakistan or New Zealand.
Or New Zealand.
Yeah.
I would rather someone's killed themselves. I would rather. I agree. Australia are not going to finish 4th in this World Cup.
No.
Who have they got left coming in terms of their games?
Australia, they got Afghanistan.
Yeah.
They got England. One more match. I forgot who was the last one.
Bangladesh?
Yeah, maybe Bangladesh.
Yeah. Don't remember them playing.
So for me, they will go up. They will finish either second or third.
Second or third.
Yeah.
So where's Australia? So South Africa might be second or third.
Exactly. So yeah.
Remember, our predictions at the start of the World Cup have been horrible. We have a little bit more information. We got to bring some clout to this. If we're wrong this time, I don't think I can make another podcast. You think they're going to finish third or second or third?
Yeah, I feel they will finish second or third.
Strong finish to the World Cup. So, yeah, they can definitely win 2 of those 3 games, right? So,
for sure.
Against England,
good.
maybe. They look fantastic.
Good, yeah.
They do now. Okay, they now look fantastic, and they looked horrible. Literally, like 2 weeks ago, they were like a team. You're like, okay, fine, forget about them. They're out.
That's a good thing about this World Cup. It gives you time to come back. It's not like there's 2 groups and you play.
You don't play 2 bad games. That's it. You're out, right? Like, so yeah, Australia. I think standout player for you.
Australia, it's difficult to go past Warner. Still making runs at his age.
Last World Cup.
Yeah, last World Cup. Maybe his last year in
World cricket.
World cricket. So, yeah, very impressive. And I think he just like to be in India. That's sometimes it's very important as a player, to feel welcomed, to feel, in a good space. I feel he likes to play in India, and that also shows on the pitch.
It does. And standout bowler for
Australia?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't go past Zampa.
Surprising, right?
Yeah,
he
fast
started
bowler.
out pretty badly,
Yeah.
and then now he's at the top of the game. So
yeah, maybe he missed some match practice, or he's been very accurate, back to his best. Their fast bowling not been that great, but
I'm surprised at how bad their fast bowling has been. Maybe they need to bring some variation in. I don't know how they do that, but I think I agree. They're going to get to the semi-finals now. Unfortunately, England won't make it. So for me, that's the swap I'm making. I think that's the swap everybody's making.
Yeah.
But that's the top 4. What's the likelihood of the top 4 staying the way they are?
It looks like it's going to stay like this unless Pakistan bring back their magic.
So shall we talk about the 5th team in this list? which is Pakistan. Good win today against Bangladesh. But prior to today's win, their results have been loss, 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 loss.
Yeah,
I can't believe they have so many points in the World Cup. They're not doing very well. And they're trying to pick themselves up. And what I love is watching Wasim Akram on the YouTube channel for, what is the show called?
the Pavilion.
Pavilion. Wow. Like ex-Pakistani legends grilling, the Pakistani players and getting incredible tweets from the normal public where people are throwing their TVs out of their rooms and being very unhappy with the Pakistani team, but they're being very, at least on the TV channel, from what we can see, the state of Pakistan cricket looks in dire condition.
Yeah, it's been a difficult World Cup for them. But as you said, it looks like...
The excuses coming out of the Pakistan cricket camp
Yeah.
is like, they're buying, like these players are playing only 2020 cricket, so they can't perform in 50 overs. Because Wasim Akram himself is like, they don't know how to play. If they need to bowl 10 overs, they need to be fit for 20 overs. Okay, well, what about the Afghanistan team, who all just play T20 cricket around the world, hardly play any ODI games, and are doing much better than you with a much less experienced team than you?
Yeah, there's a lot of talks, but they shouldn't forget that the same team a few months back were the number one team in the world. Same players.
Yeah, but
Same captain.
they're playing Zimbabwe.
No, they were playing. they played a few teams like. Few big
I don't
teams.
remember the last time Pakistan were in England.
Yeah, I don't remember as well. I think they came once and they lost all the matches in the white ball.
I just don't remember them playing some of the bigger teams. Like, sure, you can be a number one team in the world. Rankings don't really matter. At this point, the rankings are showing for itself. They're fifth in the world.
The thing, right, with the World Cup, especially for teams like India or Pakistan, even Bangladesh, with all the following they have, once you start losing one or two matches, they get so
Mickey
much
Arthur is complaining about not playing the right songs
Yeah.
of the World Cup.
That's another big thing with, unfortunately for Pakistan, like...
It's like a circus. You know what this is like? It reminds me of the England football team. Every World Cup, there is a circus around the English football team, and less so now. Fortunately, they're much better than they were before. They make it more to quarterfinals and semifinals. But like I remember back in 2000, 2004, 2000, and all of the tournaments. So whenever England go to Euros or the World Cup, it's like a big circus following them, and then all of the ex-pundit grill them because they should be doing better. But what they don't realize is that the English team back then just accept that it's not that good. And sure, you could be like, wow, England had David Beckham and Wayne Rooney, all of these legends of the game, right? Because they performed so well for the Pakistan T20 League and the Bangladeshi T20 League and the BPL and all of these different leagues. But when they come together, it just doesn't work. And that's what I think is happening with Pakistan.
No, I feel they're still a good team with good players. It's just...
You see what Ravi Shastri said?
About Shaheen Shah, right?
Shaheen Shah Afridi, average bowler, he said.
No, I think it...
I think he's being disrespectful.
Yeah, I think people are, being...
Okay, he's being disrespectful, but he was the coach of India for 8 years.
Yeah, but, people were a bit too harsh on Pakistan, I feel. Yes, they were not the best, but you have to understand...
You want to swap the shirts?
Agree. No, but you see, right? Like, these guys, they don't play cricket in India. It's the first time these guys play cricket in India.
Yes, it is not easy.
And so no one plays IPL, and for them, it's, the environment, even though it's in Asia,
Yeah,
it's still something new.
it is.
And it's a World Cup, so you have this extra pressure, and they came in with number one tag as well, right? Like in the ranking, at least.
Yeah,
So they had expectation as well. So when they start losing few matches, especially against India, then people start criticizing the team,
They do.
and they get extra pressure, and then the board, like with all their communication in the media and everything, it doesn't help as well.
No,
So-
it doesn't. It doesn't.
So it's not easy for them. They didn't play their best cricket. That we have to say that.
No, they haven't played their best cricket.
No.
They've had a lot of chops and changes as well in the team. They're trying to figure out who to go with. Would you not expect a team who was number one in the world to be more settled than that?
Yeah, that's the thing. The biggest disappointment for them is the spin department. The
Yeah.
spinner, they have been really bad, and also the backup options. I think they have some good batsmen there.
Mm.
Bizarrely, this time is the bowling, which is disappointing.
So we talk about. I mean, this is. If you were expecting us to talk more about India than Pakistan, you're wrong. This is the team we're going to talk about the most. So we talk about Haris Rauf.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Wazim Akram thinks he's not fit enough. He's only bowling 4 overs, and all he thinks about is speed, and not length. And he's been smacked around the park.
Yeah, again, right? India is a very difficult place to bowl for fast bowlers.
You're basically bowling on a road.
Yeah, and you have to, and you have to be.
It's either a slow road or a very fast road, but it's a road nonetheless.
Yeah, so you have to be so accurate on
Yeah.
your line and length. If you miss
do.
by a little with the small boundaries, like you can disappear, and that's what happened with Rao. So he bowled some good balls.
Yeah.
So he bowled like 3 or 4 good balls, and then 1 or 2 bad ball, and you'll go for like 8 or 10 and over.
But you have to remember, he also is the quickest bowler in this World Cup by a mile.
Yeah, with maybe Chris. Is it with Wood?
With Mark
Yeah,
Wood.
Mark Wood, sorry.
Yeah, I think he's probably up there as number one or number 2 at the pace he bowls at, right? So there is going to be some issues with your length, or like you're not going to always be as accurate as you
Their
expect.
bowling has been off color. Without Naseem, they struggled.
You think their batting has been in colour?
The batting has been better. They chased 340 against Sri Lanka. They scored almost 300 against Australia. Today as well, they chased 220 in 30 odd overs.
Easy, yeah.
So the batting has been okay. Like, not as bad as the bowling. The bowling has been really bad. So who knows, they still have 3 games left.
So who do they have left to play?
They have New Zealand, England, and one more game.
Netherlands? Can't
No,
be.
they played against Netherlands. I can't remember who was the third team. But yeah, they got 3 games left.
Yeah.
And if they win those 3 games, they will have 5 win. And who knows, maybe they can...
Wait, 5 wins? No, they'll have 6. How much are they on right now?
They just have 2 wins.
Are they on 4 points?
Yeah.
They're 5th with 4 points.
Yes.
That's not good enough.
That's why I'm saying...
So wait, so you're saying if they win the next 3 games, they're going to be on 10 points?
Yeah, and then depending on New Zealand's performance,
Mm.
they could have a shot for the 4th place.
Right.
So yeah,
You want me to... I think I can help them pack their bags because it's not going to happen.
you never know in the World Cup. And with Pakistan, right? Like they always try to, they always find a way sometimes to come into the semi-finals.
I think
and
Pakistan
quarterfinals.
cricket needs a reset. And it will be better for them to just go home earlier.
If they don't qualify for the semi-final, I'm sure there will be a lot of changes in Pakistan cricket, starting from the captaincy. Yeah, no one...
As great a player he is, I love it when people put Babar Azam as one of the top 4 batsmen in the world.
He's...
But probably the 4th. He's not the top 3.
No, he's not in top 3, but he's
Who when you go to the Olympics, do they do top 4 medals? Come on.
He's still I feel he's still one of the best batters. Just the captaincy pressure and all these things ongoing around him.
Just unfortunate for him, right? Yeah, I agree. I think I'm sorry. If you're watching this and if you're from Pakistan, I'm sorry. I'm just being harsh because someone has to be. It's not like the whole of Pakistan's being mean to you guys,
we have to be nice with Babar because there's so many guys complaining about him being harsh with him.
I know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
He is one of the best batsmen in the world. I think he might be one of those players that benefits from not having the captaincy like Root does, right? So Root plays freely for England in the test matches now, and he's just a different player, and maybe that's what Pakistan need. The problem for them is who takes that over.
They got some candidates like Rizwan or even Shaheen, but so far, I think now all they need to do is just concentrate on the next 3 matches.
That's
somehow win the 3 matches, even if they don't.
But it's not just the 3 matches. They're relying on other people as well.
Yeah, I'm saying like at least if they win the next 3 matches,
they can save face.
Exactly.
They can go home slightly safer.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, that's Pakistan. I think we've spoken enough about them. They're going to go home, unfortunately. Did we talk about Afghanistan?
Afghanistan, another team. You remember in the last episodes we said we were a bit disappointing about.
I think someone heard the podcast. Someone on the Afghanistan, maybe Jonathan Trott, who I bowled 1,000,000 overs to once, didn't let me go. Is like, you know what, Sohail, actually, I'm going to get the Afghani players to play well. And what a turnaround, you know.
Yeah, great story. Good to see them play well.
To go from not ever winning a World Cup cricket match.
They had 1 win, I think. They had a win against Scotland in 2015.
In Australia.
Yeah.
Right, in Dunedin. Oh, I always confuse, like, why are they playing Scotland in Dunedin, which is in Scotland, but actually it's in Australia. Sure, they won against Scotland, but, like, this World Cup is like a true championship. Like, this is like a Premier League level of teams that they're beating.
Yeah, this is what we expect from them. All their players, they're playing the top leagues in the world.
They are.
We all know they're so talented. I felt they needed that win against England. They needed a win against a big team to kind of unlock the mental block or something.
Yeah.
So after that, I knew they were going to win. After the England game, I knew they were going to win at least 2-3 matches.
Yeah. They won 3 matches. They're on 6 points.
Already.
Sorry, let's clarify. Pakistan are on 6 points, not on 4 points.
No.
Yeah.
Pakistan are on 2 wins. On 4 points. Afghanistan are on 6 points. No.
No. Pakistan are on 6 points. Sorry, Pakistani fans. Aaron is still wearing his shirt.
So they have only 2 matches left, Pakistan. So they have only
they've only got New Zealand and South Africa? No, not South Africa. They've already won. Played South Africa.
England.
Oh my God.
So 2 good matches.
2 good matches for them to make it to 10 points. But Afghanistan, you know, a team full of T20 players around the world. No one is complaining that they don't play enough 50-over cricket match like Pakistan do, you know. But what a team. They have surprised everyone after the first half of the World Cup, right? They've come in, won against England easily, right? And then won against
Pakistan easily, Sri Lanka easily.
They still... did they beat Bangladesh?
No, they lost against Bangladesh. So they won those 3 games.
Yeah.
England, Pakistan, and... Sri Lanka.
England, Pakistan, Sri Lanka. There you go. And you know what's been the most surprising thing for me? Is their batting has been fantastic in these games.
We knew that their bowling was always going to be good.
Top bowling attack, right, in the world.
So, yeah, very impressive batting. Looks like they just found out how to play ODIs. You know, not going for the big shots. A lot of singles, doubles.
Yeah.
Waiting for the bad balls. You can see Jonathan Trott influence because he was that kind of a player.
Yeah.
You know, very strike rotation.
Absolutely.
Type of player. Yeah, good to see them. I'm happy for Afghanistan.
And what's great to see is their team. The average age of the team is like 19. Like, you know, 18, 19, 20, 21, 20.
With Afghanis, right? Don't
look at the age.
Yeah, don't look at the age.
No, they do look young. It's not like I remember back in school. I had a friend.
How old is Rashid now? 20. He's been playing for 10 years already, and he's still like 23 or 24. Is he?
Okay, I need to see how old Rashid is, honestly, because I.
No, but you're right. They got a lot of young players.
Okay, here we go. So Abdul, active players, right? Where is Mr. Rashid Khan? Oh wow, this is no. I don't want their. I want their squad for the. Oh, there we go. Squads. ICC World Cup squad. Okay, batters. Hashmatullah Shahidi. Sorry, 28. Real age.
He's the captain.
Real age, maybe 35. Okay. Ibrahim Zadran. How old do you think he is? He's 21 according to this. How old do you think he is?
Yeah. He's a young guy. So
He looks 29 to me. Okay, add another few years. Ikram Akikil, wicketkeeper batter. He's not played, has he?
he played a game. Yeah, he played a few games.
22 years old. He looks 22.
No, they have a young squad. So I feel
Rashid Khan is 24.
Yeah, I can't believe
25.
I can't believe he's 24.
You think he's like 30?
Obviously, he's been playing. He's been playing for so many years.
I think the only person real age is Mohammad Nabi, who says 38 years old. This is Mujib in this photo. He looks 40. His real age is 22. Okay. Raman. He looks like a model. 21. Do you think he's 21?
I told you, right? You will never. It's a mystery. You will never find
Noor
out.
is only 18 years old.
Yeah, Noor is young because he played recently the Under-19 World Cup, and so yeah, Noor he can.
Just because he played Under-19 World Cup, that's because of the age.
He looks very young as well.
But if you moving aside from all the jokes around age discrimination, I'm sure some of those players are not how old they say they are. But they're playing fantastic.
Yeah. Coming back to your point, yeah, they look a young squad who will play together for a long time, and very impressive, and very exciting. I like the cricket as well.
It is exciting cricket, and I love Rashid Khan. Everyone loves Rashid Khan. What a fantastic! I think he's the face of Afghanistan cricket, and they play with pride. They love their cricket. They love their country. When they won against Pakistan, they donated their money to the refugees who weren't allowed in Pakistan. They care about their country and their cricket, and that's how it should be, right? I think. Although there's a question I want to cover on this podcast. It might be slightly, difficult to answer. But should Afghanistan be allowed to play cricket?
Obviously. Why is this question?
Should Afghanistan be allowed to play international cricket?
Yeah, there's no doubt about this.
Because they don't have a women's cricket team.
That's something which came up. Was it last year? This topic came up on the news and everything. Yeah, obviously they should play cricket.
Because I'm guessing Taliban really are enjoying Afghanistan winning cricket matches right now.
They have a big following.
Yeah.
In Afghanistan.
So you expect, imagine you just kick them out because the Taliban are not letting the women play any kind of sport. And the ICC, which is under the hood, ICC is BCCI, if people don't know. They come out and say, you have to have a women's international cricket team in order to play men's international cricket. How many teams will it affect in the top 10?
Just
India have a women's team?
Yeah, they all have a women's team.
They all have a women's team without Afghanistan?
Yeah. But that's
not going to happen.
Nah, it's going to happen.
Come on, ICC, make it happen.
They will be there. We want to see Afghanistan play, and
we want to see the Afghanistani men play, but maybe there's something there, So that's something I was talking to some people about, and I'm like, it's a bit unfair that in a country where some things like all the things that are happening right now with oppression towards women, they don't have a women's team. Everyone else in the Cricket World Cup that are playing right now. When you go to the World Cup, Women's World Cup, which is a massive following in the UK at the very least, right? And in Australia and in India, the top 3 teams are big men or women, doesn't matter. But yeah, slightly difficult topic to cover, but definitely worth talking about. I think as well as Afghanistan are doing in their men's cricket, they have patchy history in the Women's World Cup department. Let's hope that this run of form they've had maybe opens eyes in
Yeah,
in
I hope
Afghanistan?
they qualify for the semis. That will be a good story.
Okay,
They
now
have,
that's. I think you need to definitely take this chance. It's not going to happen. It's like forget about it.
yeah. Who
You
knows?
need to wake up from the dream. This is.
They still got 3 matches left. The way they are playing, who
maybe
knows?
they'll make it.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to find a new host next one. Someone that's slightly more realistic. So that's Afghanistan. They're doing pretty well. I'm enjoying their cricket. Everyone is enjoying the cricket. Everyone is happy when they win, especially against Pakistan in India. So that's something.
Should we do the next 3 teams at once? Because there's not much to talk about.
Okay, who are the next 3 teams that you want to do at once?
I think we need to spend a bit more time talking
On the
about
last
Netherlands than England and Sri Lanka and Bangladesh.
Okay, so if you look at the rankings, we've covered the top 6 teams.
Yeah.
Number 7 is Sri Lanka. Number 8 is Netherlands. And number 9 is Bangladesh. Bang average. Nothing to talk about.
Sri Lanka and Bangladesh, yeah, very, very disappointing. Especially Bangladesh. At least Sri Lanka had some injury concerns. Their main player like Asaranga, Chamira, they were not available.
So am I correct? Because you wake me up. But it's Angelo Matthews
He's back.
playing cricket
He's
for
back.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah, he's
How
back.
did that happen?
He's back and he did well in his first match. So
How? Like, what, is Sri Lankan cricket that bad that you have to?
yeah, unfortunately, it looks like same thing, right? They don't have the bench strength, so they had to go back to a guy like Matthew, who was a
Fantastic player at his peak.
Yeah, exactly.
No one is questioning that.
So
right?
very disappointing. Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, both of them.
Yeah.
It's been really, really bad.
And the Netherlands.
Netherlands again, similar to Afghanistan. What a story!
Do you think the World Cup should only be a 6-team event?
No, I don't think so. I think there should be more teams.
Okay, so of the 3 teams, of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and Netherlands, who would you swap out with West Indies?
Bangladesh.
Over by Holland? Really?
No, Holland. They done really well in this tournament, and they trashed Bangladesh.
I mean, they've done well for yes.
They won against what was the second match they won? They got 2 wins. So they won against South Africa, and they trashed Bangladesh. So they're doing really well. Very impressive as well. Good team.
Well, hopefully they win against India, get 6 points.
And good team to watch out for the future as well. I feel they will be a better team next time again because they have a very young squad.
So you still want the next World Cup to have 10 teams?
Even more.
Even more?
Yeah, so they can do like groups.
Oh, you want to go back to the group stage? You don't like this format?
When you're 10 teams is okay, but if you have
12 teams, then you're not going to go to 11, right? So you're going to invite 2 more.
teams, then group stage is better.
I think they need to cut it down to 8. I like this format, but I think 8 teams is enough.
But you got the Champions Trophy for that. It's World Cup. You need to let
everyone play.
Otherwise, this is not a World Cup.
Maybe they should do like the top 4 teams in this World Cup only enter, like a Super 6 stages or something. So they automatically qualify like there's a Super 8 or something. So the other teams get to have a little bit of a merry-go-round, teams like Sri Lanka,
like the qualifiers.
Qualifiers.
They do already, right? Like they did the qualifier.
Yeah, but that happened like last summer and whatever. Yeah. And then, so yeah, anyway, going back to the table, Sri Lanka, Netherlands, Bangladesh. Nothing special. Bang average. It is what it is.
Very disappointing from them.
You'd think that that's actually the 8th, 9th, and 10th team in the World Cup in the table, but there's one more. There's a 10th team. Have you forgotten someone?
The world champions.
World champions. Oh my God. The world champions are number 10.
It's a puzzle.
They have 2 points. I don't even know who they won against.
And they won against Bangladesh. That's how bad Bangladesh has been in this world.
I'm like speechless.
What happened?
What
I
happened?
don't know. Like,
Um,
what do you think?
Okay, so there are plenty of pundits who have a lot to say in this, right? I think the one pundit that really stands out for
No,
me.
what's your view?
Oh, what's my view? What's my view?
Yeah.
They should have taken Jason Roy.
Okay.
By far, the most consistent player in the ODI squad was Jason Roy. They really should have taken Jason Roy, and that would have made a big difference. To a lot of the starts they've had, it would have made a big difference. I see Jason Roy as Rohit Sharma, right? And the problem with the English setup is inconsistencies throughout the top down. I don't mean the team selection, like I don't mean the team itself, but the selection and Rob Key and all of these people that have made these fantastic plans of McCullum being the test coach and some random person I don't fucking know being the ODI coach, you know, and T20 coach, and it's like McCullum is the best, one of the best cricketers in the world, right? Just pay him whatever he wants, give him the whole job. Is Rahul Dravid only the Indian ODI coach?
No.
Does he do test? Does he do T20s? He also does the women's team sometimes. He does a lot. He does everything. Like you just, it's still this mentality of test is different, ODI is different, T20 is different. We need different players, and there is a role for you in this team, but no role for you in the other team. How many of the Indian cricket team players play in the test, T20?
Yeah, it's a very similar team playing
One day.
cross format. Yeah.
That's it. Like, I think consistency and not having consistency really hurts the English cricket team. And on top of that, you say that your fitness levels look a bit iffy, Jason Roy. We're not going to take you, whereas we're taking a pretty much disabled Ben Stokes on the team who can't even walk properly.
Yeah, true.
Ben Stokes should never have been in this team.
I agree with you. I thought the same thing. When he came back to the team, even though he scored like 180 or something in New Zealand, it didn't seem right for him just to come back like this.
No. I mean, he scored 180 like with one leg. Sure, fantastic. What a fantastic way to play cricket. But 50 over cricket, you're not playing in the English cold conditions. It is hot out there. You know, you've got to play the whole day. These players, I just say, it's really annoying,
But
right? As someone...
I agree with you.
Just,
I agree with you with things you said, but even with the squad they had, with the players they had, you don't think they will finish like...
Okay, yes. So that's the first thing. Like, okay, let's leave the selection issues to the side, taking the wrong players to the side. What happened in India?
Overall, the squad is okay, right? Just maybe one or two players missing, but still a good squad.
Take out Rohit Sharma and Kohli from the team. What does Indian cricket team score?
Yeah, but not 10th. That's the thing which is like, I can't believe, I can't understand what's happening.
Okay, I think Butler is not a very good cricket captain. That's it.
Yeah.
I think people like to not blame, people in the circuit, whatever. He's no Owen Morgan, right? He's no Owen Morgan and the cricketing brain that he comes with. And the knowledge that Owen Morgan actually has is because he has played so much cricket around the world, gained all that knowledge, playing with some of the greatest cricketers of his generation, and being one of the greatest cricketers for England by a mile and also in the world. All of that knowledge turned him into the cricket captain that he is, and now a pundit. He really should be running the English cricket setup. But it's too much. You can tell, like, when Butler talks, you can tell, like, he's like Root. It's like, he's not like Ben Stokes as a captain. When you look at the interviews and Ben Stokes is talking, you're like, wow, this man, he knows what he's doing. Confident, delivers, right? Butler is like Root. When he's giving interviews, he's like, yeah, we could have done better.
Yeah. But still, he won the T20 World Cup. He was the captain. So
you're putting me on the spot here. He's right. He's very right. England. Okay, so what? You're right. But how can you be so bad for all of these games?
I think sometimes we just don't have explanation. I feel they just come in as thinking they will be in the semi-finals.
There or thereabout.
They already thought they will be there easily, and then when they start losing some matches, same thing, right? Like
Who are the let's work top down. The top 5 teams right now in India. Name me some good players, average players. Virat Kohli, average player. Rohit Sharma, right? So you name some names. I ask you to name me some names who you think will be match winners in a team.
Yeah.
Okay. In India, you've got a couple. I already gave you, right?
Some
Second, what's South Africa? You've already named so many.
You get like Miller.
Right, top to bottom, you can name them. Number 3,
New Zealand, yeah.
We've named a few names. Number 4,
Australia,
Warner. We've named started at the top, right? Number 5, Pakistan. Okay, fine. Maybe we haven't talked a lot about their match-winning players, but they're struggling. Now, who are you naming in the England team right now? Who you look at? Let's say the World Cup didn't start. Who are the players that you're going to say?
Bairstow, Butler, and maybe at some extent Root, but in ODIs he's a good player, but he's not like a great ODI player.
I think he's more than a good player in ODIs, right? I think he's the glue
that
England need.
But he's not going to hurt you. Like he's
not going to win you the match. Bairstow is.
Yeah, Bairstow is. Butler
is.
Stokes on his days.
But Bairstow is coming in at the top, and Butler is coming in at the bottom. What's in the middle?
There's nothing.
Name. Who's playing for him?
I felt they did a big mistake leaving out Brook. They should have given Brook all the games. For me, he's a very, very good player, and
he had the worst IPL. He was dropped from the IPL team.
Yeah,
this year. England would have surely looked at that and said, you know what, maybe this player is not good enough to play.
You saw him play after that in all format. He's got, for me, he's kind of a future star.
What is it with it's like this, and then now people are talking about England need a reset. What is that about?
I feel they just they just lost the plot, and they just need to come back, and a few players will retire, and they have very good white ball players waiting, so they'll still be a good team, but I don't know what happened.
You know what it was? You look at the captaincy. I think you have to look at the captaincy, right? Stokes is not who he was 2 years ago. Someone like Owen Morgan would have known that and said, sorry, mate, you're not going to make it. You're not going to cut it. Right? Like, England, for the 2019 World Cup, they had made plans from 2015 onwards after the horrific loss in Australia. They had made a plan. The same thing happened in Australia. In 2015, they were rock bottom as well.
Yeah.
They lost to fucking everybody. They lost to Bangladesh. At least they won against Bangladesh this time. But it's like rock bottom, top of the world in T20, rock bottom.
Unbelievable.
I think as harsh as we're being, I agree with you. It's probably just a blip. They need a few resets, right? I don't think everyone needs to go. I think they have a fantastic bowling unit. That could be worked on a little bit. I think the batting unit is even better. I think they should apologize to Jason Roy publicly and say sorry for not taking you. But they're not even going to make the Champions Trophy. Nobody knew that. I didn't know they were not going to make the Champions Trophy.
They need to finish top 8. So let's see. They got few games left.
Top 8 or top 7, I thought?
Top 7 plus Pakistan.
Because they're the champions.
They're the host. So
they're the host. Are India going to go to Pakistan?
That's the plan.
Wow.
2025. I hope they go.
2025. Yeah. What's next year? Next year is so this is the slight segue. 2023 Cricket World Cup, 2024 T20 World Cup, 2025 Champions Trophy, 2026 T20 World Cup, 2027 ODI World Cup.
So you got a World Cup every year almost.
Until 2030.
So
what are we going to do with this podcast? Coming back to England, though, I think Root's going to retire. Ben Stokes is out the team.
From ODI?
Yeah, ODI. I'm sorry, I'm talking about the World Cup and the ODI. So they need to fill up those two spaces. Brooks is going to take that space permanently for sure.
I hope they play Brook in the coming matches. I just hope they give him the next 3 matches. I'm sure he'll score runs. And same the bowling as well, right? Like
Average. Nothing special. Rashid is going to retire after this World Cup.
They're going to struggle.
Moeen Ali is going to retire after this World Cup.
Maybe Rehan Ahmed can come in and replace Rashid, but Rashid is the best bowler for them.
By a mile,
By
right?
a mile.
So he's going to go. Maybe he can play. Well, he'll play in the T20. Most of these players, barring probably Ben Stokes and Root, will be in the T20 squad for next year. Fine.
And who knows? They might win the
T20
World Cup next year.
Plays in the World Cup next year,
and everyone will forget about this ODI World Cup. But I feel it's a blip. I feel they just.
I agree. It's a blip. I think when one of the best teams in the world doesn't perform, people jump on them, like we have with Pakistan.
Yeah.
Like we have with Pakistan, we have jumped on them and they haven't performed, or they haven't lived up to the expectation everyone expects them to live up to, right? So it's a shame. It's really a shame. I think we needed it. It's fucking miserable and cold here in England, and England winning the World Cup would have been fantastic in hot and humid India. But they need a reset. Who's been the most disappointing player? I've so far asked you for the most incredible players for the other teams, but who's been the most disappointing player for you from England?
From England, it's the captain, Josh. Unfortunately, never found anything with the bat, or even captaincy wise, he was quite disappointing as well. So I think he should play. He should just open.
Why doesn't he open the bat? I mean, it's like, okay, in T20 you do this, and then in ODI you don't.
Maybe just because he's keeping 50 overs and the fitness issue, but...
Get Bairstow to keep for 25 overs, man. Doesn't matter. Both of you open the batting, both of you do everything for England win.
I just...
like when you're playing like gully cricket and one player does everything. That's it. I don't care.
Yeah, I just hope the same thing, right? As I said for Brook, I just hope Butler opens innings. They play Brook the next few games.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that will change.
Oh my God, Butler opening the innings. What everyone wants to see.
Yeah, I don't understand why he doesn't happen, but...
He's also such a kind player. He gives everyone else the credit, but he really deserves all the credit. He's one of the best players in the world. And he deserved better this World Cup, and his team didn't deliver. So that's why we are number 10.
See you next year. That's it.
At the T20 World Cup.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think we've covered all the top 10 teams. Talked about all the surprises, England being the obvious surprise. Top 4 is going to remain pretty much the same.
I feel so, yeah.
I think they'll probably switch around in them, but India will make it, South Africa will make it, Australia will make it, and New Zealand will make it.
Yeah, between New Zealand and Pakistan. But...
I might have to buy a Pakistan shirt if they make it to the top 4. Bloody hell. But we hope you enjoyed the show. We hope you enjoyed our commentary on what's been going on. And we'll see you in the next one.
Yeah, see you next one with more results.
Hopefully, unless it rains out. No rain in India.
No rain, just fog.
And light shows. Lots of light shows. Actually, what do you make of this light show?
I hate it.
You hate it?
Yeah.
Everyone hates it.
Yeah.
What is this? Why are we doing light shows in the middle of the fucking game?
Are they doing for all matches or only for India matches? Do you know?
I don't know. I think they're doing it for all matches. But I've only watched the India matches, so that's the only time I've seen a light show.
Yeah, I watched the other matches, but I don't recall. Maybe I didn't watch.
Maybe they don't dim them as much when the other teams are playing.
Yeah, I hate it. I hope they stop it after this World Cup.
Who's been the top pundit for you in this World Cup?
I always like Nasser Hussain.
Yeah.
He's for me the best.
Yeah.
So
I really like Wasim Akram.
Yeah,
He's not even in the official roster.
you just watch his.
But I just watch him on
post-match-
YouTube.
post-match.
And I just go him and Shoaib Malik on one side and, Moin Khan coming in. And people are piling in on Moin Khan. I'm like, bloody hell. But yeah, I think from the official roster, I I just love Ravi Shastri. Can't go wrong. He doesn't have anything good to add. but his sound
Just
is
the voice.
The voice is fantastic, and that's it, right? So that's it. We'll see you in the next one, which will be a lot sooner than having to wait 6 more matches. And that's it.
Yeah, let's talk more cricket.
And
very
hopefully I can buy one of these shirts as well. So,
or Pakistan.
oh no, I think I'll be kicked out of the house. So. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.